All right, let's dive into something that's super relevant in today's connected world. Have you ever thought about how two totally separate companies, each with their own secure, lockdown digital universe, actually let their employees work together? We're about to pull back the curtain on the digital handshake that makes it all happen, the Active Directory External Trust. Let's see how these bridges get built. I mean, this is the big question, isn't it? In an era of mergers, partnerships, and all sorts of complex business deals, you've got all these isolated digital islands. So what happens when somebody on Island A needs to get a file from Island B? How do you connect them without just, knocking down all the walls and creating a total security nightmare? So to really get why the solution is so cool, we've got to first understand the problem it's built to solve. It really all boils down to this thing we call the resource access problem. Okay, let's use an analogy. Think of Organization A's entire computer network, its Active Directory domain, as a big, modern office building. It is completely self-contained. You've got your own special key card, your employee badge, right? It lets you in the front door. It gets you into your office, maybe the break room. That system knows exactly who you are and what you're allowed to touch inside this building. Now, right next door, you've got Organization B, totally different company, totally separate building. They've got their own security guards, their own locks, and their own completely different key cards. Your badge from Building A, it's just a piece of plastic over there. Their system has no idea what it is. It's completely useless. So, what happens when your two companies decide to partner up? All of a sudden, employees from your Building A need to get into Building B to use a specific file server or get into a shared project folder. Now, you could give everyone from Building A a brand new separate keycard just for Building B, but that is a logistical nightmare. It's confusing, it's a pain to manage, and honestly, it's a huge security risk. So the real question is, how do you let them in, but only to the specific places they need to go? And that question right there leads us straight to the solution. Instead of handing out hundreds of new keycards, what if the two buildings could just agree to trust each other in a very specific way? What if we could build a secure, managed bridge between them? Well, that is the whole idea behind an external trust. So what is it really? An external trust is basically a formal security agreement between two separate domains. It's a way of telling Building B's security system, hey, see this person with a badge from Building A? They're legit. You can trust their identity. This is what allows a user from one company to be authenticated and then given permission to access very specific things in the other company's network. But here's the thing, these digital bridges aren't all the same. You can build a one-way trust, which is exactly what it sounds like, a one-way street. People from Building A can get to stuff in Building B, but it doesn't work the other way around. Or you can set up a two-way trust. That's your classic two-way street where access flows freely in both directions. And this is an absolutely critical security feature. This trust is what we call non-transitive. Okay, think about it like this. Just because Building A trusts Building B, and maybe Building B has a separate agreement to trust Building C, that does not, under any circumstances, mean that Building A automatically trusts Building C. Nope. The trust is a direct, point-to-point connection, and that's it. It doesn't get passed along the chain, which is exactly what you want to keep things secure and contained. Okay, so we've agreed to build this digital bridge. We get the concept. But how does it actually work? What's happening under the hood that lets an employee from one building walk into another one and have the right doors just magically open for them? Well, the magic behind this whole operation is a special little object called a foreign security principal. I know, it sounds super technical and complicated, but the idea is actually really simple when we go back to our building analogy. The process is actually pretty straightforward. First, the two managers, the domain admins, they set up the trust. That's step one. Then, when a user from Domain A tries to access something in Domain B, the system in Domain B creates a little digital representation of that user. That's the foreign security principal. Think of it like a temporary visitor's pass. And the best part is, you can program that pass with super specific permissions, like this pass only opens the printer room on the 7th floor and absolutely nothing else. Now, I have to give you a really important heads up here, and this comes directly from Microsoft's own documentation. These foreign security principal objects, our digital visitor passes, are created and managed by the system automatically. You should never, ever try to go in and edit them by hand. Seriously, don't do it. You could break the entire trust relationship and cause a world of problems. Just let the system do its thing. So, now that we know what an external trust is and how it works, let's bring it back to the real world. when would an IT administrator actually decide to build this specific kind of bridge? What are the common situations where this is the right tool for the job? You're going to see external trusts pop up in a few key scenarios. They're absolutely essential if you need to connect to a very old legacy domain from back in the day. They're also perfect for company mergers and acquisitions, right? Two companies need to start collaborating fast, but they're not ready to completely merge their entire IT infrastructures. Basically, it's the perfect tool when you need a very specific, targeted link, and a much bigger, all-encompassing forest trust would just be total overkill. So, there you have it. The external trust is this incredibly powerful tool for bridging separate digital worlds in a really controlled, secure way. It's a fundamental concept, and it leaves us with one final thought to chew on. As our digital lives get even more interconnected, from our own servers to the cloud to partners all over the globe, what does the future of digital trust even look like? Thanks for joining me for this explainer.